What's up, YouTube? How are you doing? Going live as we have some news in literally 1 minute, or actually 45 seconds. And also because of this range, which is quite a pain in the ass, of course, we have a bullish and bearish scenario. The bearish scenario would be a WXY, but I'm not too happy with counting this as a flat. I'm going straight in, by the way, because of the news as well. So a bearish scenario here would be a potential WXY, which is a sideways double combo. Not too happy with the flat here, as this does look zigzaggy to the upside instead of a 5-wave structure. There is at least some probabilities to it, but it's definitely not an ideal structure, especially a W in that case over here, right? And the bullish scenario, well, we do have a potential diagonal here. However, in a bullish scenario, you would then count a potential double 1-2, but the second wave 1 is longer than the first wave 1, which is not preferred, right? So that lowers the probabilities for a double 1-2, and we still got an 886 touch here at the low as well. So at the moment, this range so far has been a little bit confusing, but with the 886 touch here at the low, this move to the downside now, the only real option would be a 1-2-1-2 continuation, but your second one is longer than your first, lowers probabilities for a double 1-2, increases probabilities for a potential zigzag here, where the common target for wave C has been hit, taken from the low to the high of the diagonal to the low, the 1 to the 1.236, as you can see. Yeah, so it's the 4-hour probabilities remain higher to sooner or later move towards the upside. We have a 3-wave structure down over here, and if you take a fib from the high to the low, so it's gonna go very quickly, but I want to do this quick now. If we're looking for an impulse down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want the wave 4 to be quite similar in time compared to your wave 2. This would be too short, in my opinion, and also this wave 5 down would have a high amount of volume, higher than your wave 3. It's not very common. Higher probability, this is a 3-wave corrective structure, as we have communicated earlier. And then price move towards the upside, hit the 0.618, invalidating a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increasing the probabilities. This is a 3-wave structure. So on the 4-hour time frame, the probabilities therefore haven't changed, that sooner or later probabilities are higher to take this high, right? Even if you do continue to the downside, we still have some support, 382, support resistance area over here. We have the 886, not that one actually, but a bigger 886 as well, that is taken from this high to the low. Toggle on the 886. You can see we touch the 886, and after an 886 touch, it is quite common for price to move at least towards the golden pocket. We have a bit of a move, but of course we didn't touch that, that's for sure. So locally, probabilities are higher for corrective structures, increasing the probabilities to eventually move towards the upside, but I can't say that I am confident with one of these lows being the low for impulsive continuation at the moment, with what we are seeing, which, arguably probabilities remain higher to still take the double bottom then sooner or later. And if so, we keep an eye on what happens if we do move to the downside. No? So, yeah, it's been a very messy range, very interesting structure to end the range with. But this move to the downside here, when this happened, I was like, well, if we do look for an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, I want to see strong continuation. And the other alternative is a 1, 2, 1, 2, but your second wave 1 is longer than your first wave 1. Lowest probabilities for an impulsive move to the upside, no? So yeah, increasing probabilities to move down eventually. So it's not really that probabilities changed locally, but it has been a very messy structure. So yeah, this live stream has a different structure than usual. We're jumping straight in. We also still have bearish CVD divergences, by the way, lower high on price, higher high on the CVD as price climbed to the upside. You can see that over here, right? Lower high on price, look at yellow, higher high on the yellow CVD here. We do have still bullish CVD here on blue, but the right side of the recent high is generally something to keep an eye on. So Wave C's of W often end in high volume. That is correct, yeah. It's just that this over here is such a short wave 4 compared to your wave 2. So look, if we do get a wave 3 to the downside, perfectly fine. We're going to trade wave 3 to the downside, right? But then this has to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But your wave 4 is... So it would be better as a wave C, indeed. 1, 2, or sorry, A, B, C, and then somehow 1, 2, 3, sideways 4, 5. Yeah, I agree, John, with that. Ending on a high amount of volume, potential. And then we got, of course, this local structure here where this looks more like a zigzag ABC to the upside, 3-wave move down. W, A, B, C, W, X, A, B, C, X, Y. Take the low of A, move up in a wave Y, which because W is a zigzag, Y has to be a flat as well. That would make it overly complex, if you know what I mean. If this would be your low, zigzag, A, B, impulsive move down in C, take the low of A, and then you want to see a wave Y again to the upside, which is either a triangle or another flat in this case, because W is already a zigzag, wave Y can't be a zigzag. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. But generally, it doesn't change the fact that probabilities would be higher to take the lows. So it's, yeah, I've been looking at this structure, just like not counting, just looking at the structure and be like, how can we effectively count this? That WXY might actually work. We missed out on hitting resistance, interestingly. We are turning around just before actually hitting it. We also didn't have a support resistance flip with the low there because we actually just missed out on hitting that one as well, which is quite interesting. Now, we also hit the 886 if this would be a second wave 1. All right, we actually hit it. So lowers the probabilities even more for impulsive continuation here, for 1, 2, 1, 2 continuation to the upside, increasing probabilities to sooner or later take the low. And this is more of a, I suppose, discussion stream, brainstorming type of stream. It's very different than usual where I go through the different scenarios, very structured. Nothing really changed on the higher time frames compared to the previous videos, right? So therefore, live for a little bit. It's going to be a short live stream because I do still want to go for a run. But because of the news, I want to go live, and I did have an idea about this range at least. So what's up, everyone? Good to have you here. It's, of course, coming in hot. Timer runs out, webcam on, boom, buff, straight into the chart. But welcome everyone. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. And it's a pleasure to be live, Ion, during the news moments. Not sure why. Yeah, so correct, John. Laggy. I do at the moment not have any missed like frames. So far, my side is good. So if we do count a flat at the bottom, we technically haven't hit the 618. If you use the low slightly above it and not the actual low. Yeah, but in a flat, of course, you want a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not easy to count this as a 5-waver. Not too sure. But yeah, then you maybe slightly missed out on the 618, but it's still, of course, it must be very close nonetheless. No, so to the, wait, where did I click? Oh, wait. Right. Yeah, very close, very close. Didn't hit it. So yeah, interesting. What happens to the news? Yeah, we had news 8 minutes ago, so just observing now as well. Paramis, welcome. Good to have you. Panorama would call this range a bear flag. Yeah. Mm-hmm. John, A of X can be an X. John, you got a chart in Discord? A of X can be an X. And the larger degree X is in. Which probably you're going to put your X here and your W then here. Right? Yeah, that's what I mentioned at the beginning. Because the range is similar in time to the ABC down, likely C or X is in. CX. I don't know what CX is. Your C of X. Take a fib time from the start to either or. Should be quite similar, 1-to-1. Yeah, it's around the 1-to-1 time as well. Correct. Here we go again. What's up, Sarega? Desinnovation, welcome. Pleasure to see you again after a week trip to Switzerland, but I was still following you on my phone. Hopefully your week trip in Switzerland was very, very nice. It's beautiful in the mountains now. What's up, Vegas Nick? How you doing? From LV, not LA. So yeah, this range, of course, also at the end of the previous live stream, we were thinking shortly about like, if we count this bullish, how do we count this bullish? Yeah, we can count a diagonal in there, but how do you make this the low? Right? It's very difficult, and it remains very difficult to make any of these structures the low, because if this is the low, then somehow you need a 1-2-1-2. But your first wave one, where is the 4 there? And now you would need a 1-2-1-2-1-2, which doesn't really make too much sense, because your last wave 2 hit the 886, and this last wave 1 is longer than your first wave 1. So yeah, feels very corrective. But yeah, it still looks more like an ABC. On the lower time frames, there is a range here, by the way, so you could count 1, 2, 3, 4 extended fifth, but you have overlap between 1, 4, and an extended fifth is rare. So lots of also, because it is a bit of a different stream, of course, you hear lots of theory and quick stuff, so you might not be able to follow it, but yeah, if it's important, I'll make sure to explain it easily. But yeah, we do have overlap here, so doesn't like counting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlap between 1 and 4 is not allowed, so it makes more sense to then count zigzag structures in there. But if we do count a zigzag up, then this zigzag by itself has to be a standalone structure in either a wave A, W, or wave A. And now you're going to be looking for a 3-wave move down and still more upside. So WA, if this is a B, you want a C up, but that's a running flat, even with a running B, that's very rare. WX, W zigzag X is very deep for a WXY double zigzag. Oh yeah, I would prefer A, B, C, take the low, potential WX, and then you might move up in a Y. Yeah, we got to wait for proof of support. If you do take the lows here, there's just not much left. There's no, I got no support whatsoever there. You could wick the lows, that would be something. But the next support is 67 or 66. So ND, wave E, breaking wave C is not allowed. There was some chatter. I know. I was reading it. I was like, oh, guys. Triangle. A, B, C, D, E. E moving below C, invalidation. Very, it's just invalidation. Better to count it differently. Forcing an invalidated count on a structure is just lazy counting, in my opinion. So I was reading what was happening, but such a big discussion about something that has so low probabilities, doesn't really make sense. If people say wave E is allowed to move beyond wave C in a triangle, then happy for them. A, B, C, D, and if your E is allowed in your case to move below C, happy trading. Good luck. It's an invalidation from an Elliott Wave point of view. If somehow this fits, I don't know, your way of Elliott Waves, and you call this an edge with the highest probabilities in your favor, right? This would, besides it being an invalidation, would be extremely rare if it's even a thing, right? So it's from an edge perspective, an Elliott Wave trading perspective, you're never going to trade that anyway. You need to count it differently. It needs to be a different structure. So instead of counting this then A, B, C, D, E, right, invalidating a triangle, it's better to recount this structure, get the triangle out of your head, and start working with WXYs, ABCs, and that sort of stuff. Because most likely it's a complex structure and not a triangle, because a triangle is invalidated. So there was a whole discussion about wave E moving beyond C because someone said it's allowed. And then, of course, you have the allowed versus not allowed discussion. But it doesn't, from a probabilities perspective, you're never going to trade that anyway. It's, first of all, it's not allowed. Second, if someone allows it, it's too low probabilities anyway. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So what's up, GP? How you doing? Welcome. So it's better to then recount the structures, which teaches good habits instead of wrong habits as well. So yeah, very interesting. Of course, always best to stick with the official Elliott Wave rules and guidelines to put the probabilities in your favor. So yeah. It's all deduction. In a way it is. I mean, in the end of the day, it's all probabilities, and you want to have the probabilities in your favor. So you want to have high probability setups or high probability trades. Posted account in BTC TA channel. Okay, that's interesting. Let me have a look here. AW, ABC, that's, yeah, W, ABC, X, ABC, Y, and then move down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never a big fan of a double zigzag with X moving low. It's not an invalidation. Going below the 07 is just lower probabilities. But that is still, that has potential, yeah. Depends on the move down. Of course, we then do want to see continuation, WX, if that is finished, or... Oh, by the way, it can't be an ABC. Because for B needs to go much higher, right? To the 0.9 fib, from the high to the low of A for a flat. Because your A is a three-wave structure in this case. So B needs to be a flat, so it needs to go up. So a WXY would then be the case. And in a WXY, if that's W, your X is finished, your Y can be either a zigzag again or a flat or a triangle. A couple of options. We didn't hit the 07 here. We didn't even touch the golden pocket. Quite a shallow retracement. We didn't even really hit resistance. So, yeah, interesting. Nope. No. Will NVIDIA pump crypto or dump? I don't follow NVIDIA, so I don't really know what the count on NVIDIA is in potential confluence with Bitcoin. So I wouldn't really be able to tell you, but at the moment, local probabilities would be higher to move down. So yeah. FOMC news already happened 18 minutes ago. First time I caught your stream on time. What's up, Ayam? Welcome. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, John. Yeah. I agree. Flat and Y sounds nice. Has potential, but then this, of course, has to be a three-wave structure. First of all, you need a flat in here. So then A, B, C, move up and then down again. So far, this looks impulsive. So, yeah. What's up, Bettina? I will never use the C through E rays in triangle, only in a pattern book like one time. Oh, no, Bettina. It wasn't about your picture. No. It all started, of course, with the discussion of someone, mentioning E below C, and even if it would happen, it's so low probabilities anyway. You can't trade it from an Elliott Wave point of view. You're likely going to recount it anyway. The result of FOMC, I personally don't know. I don't really follow the news. I just keep an eye on the chart, really, which is of course what we're doing here. So, yeah, interesting bit of price action. Price moved to the upside, but if it was going to be impulsive, there was no continuation, no high volume. We didn't even hit resistance, and it started to move towards the downside. So it just shows weakness on price here. Seeing as Bitcoin's price in USD, would you consider analysis of the DXY as providing probabilities for BTC USD? Some do. They also count the DXY, and it can be a good confluence. I personally don't, as Bitcoin gives me all the information I need. So I don't need to use other charts to know the probabilities on Bitcoin. But it can help, especially if you are interested in news and stuff with DXY, then yeah, it might be something to do. But I personally don't use it. Couldn't you ever use DeFi? No. Decentralized. I mean, not like DeFi, decentralized finance. Of course, there's so much DeFi out there. So I guess, in a way, decentralized finance, if you use an exchange that is decentralized, you're DeFi, so, but no, not really. Diagonals do not occur in second 1, 2. They are corrective in nature at the start and end of an impulse of wave A's and C's in time. Yeah, of course you can have a diagonal in a second wave 1, but all probabilities. What are your thoughts about Yup exchange? I don't know this exchange, to be honest, so I wouldn't really be able to tell you. So finally, we have a bit of a move. Jupiter exchange. I don't know Jupiter exchange. I'm very unfamiliar with DeFi as well, so I won't be able. I don't have an opinion. Basically, I would need to do research. Always do your own research, right? Always do your own research. So, okay. Let's see if we do get a little bit of action now. GG, I immediately started. So the start of the analysis was straight from the beginning when the counter went to 0. I jumped straight in. So we pretty much started chatting and Q&A together with Elliott Wave analysis straight from the bat, like boom. Not the usual structured live stream. Very much immediately puff straight into it. So it must be minute 4 or something, and that was because of the news as well. Yeah, waiting for 67.5k, 67. Yeah, I don't really have. Oh wait, that's the support resistance. Yeah, that has some potential, some support there as well. Will it touch the 50 MA on the 4-hour time frame? I personally don't use MAs. Moving averages, so I don't actually know where it is. I have no idea. Yeah, then I need to put this stuff on my chart. So I don't use moving averages myself, but if it is below price and it is below these lows, then yeah, probabilities are higher to have it hit. So yeah. Because probabilities are higher to take the lows. What's up, Craig? How are you doing? Do you offer copy trading? I don't offer anything related to copy trading. I personally believe more in teaching people how to fish instead of giving fish. Besides, copy trading puts an extra pressure on the trader, and that has an effect on trading psychology. And I prefer to trade my own money instead of others people's money. So I don't offer copy trading. But in Diamond, I do talk about setups and trades and things that I have interest in. And in the Koen Setups channel in Discord, I also talk about things I have interest in, but if I see X or Y. So, for example, today we ranged quite long, and even though we had the 886 touch here, the structure isn't too clear. So I was like, well, just in case an ABC is finished and we move up, I have interest in the long, which I communicated, but I need to see strength. And wait 1 second, what did I write exactly? So I wrote that on the 4 hour, the probabilities would at the moment still be higher to move up sooner or later eventually. And then so what I would like to see from an Elliott Wave perspective for a long is some strength and confidence. Move up impulsively, volume coming in, pass resistance, possibly some bullish CVDs as well, and invalidate the bearish ones. Then I start to get interested. Patience for things to align though. We didn't even reach resistance. There's no impulsive continuation, no like amazing volume coming in. We didn't even hit resistance, like nada. So not interested. At least not for a long. Yeah. However, so far the probability is higher. This is a 3-wave structure instead of an impulse because of this incredibly short move here. Would be quite interesting if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 4 is so short. WX. Imagine a W. Yeah, it didn't hit the 382, and commonly wave 4 is longer than 2, so not great. Altcoin stream is on Sunday. Bitcoin prediction in the next coming days. I take it step by step, but the probabilities on a weekly time frame are higher for continuation. On a daily time frame are higher for as far as it stands, bullish scenario. On the 4 hour time frame, currently here, probability is higher to move down, and we'll take it from there. Just imagine, by the way, this is an ABC. The only reason the probability switched from ABC to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is because locally the structure down has a higher probability of being a 3-wave structure compared to an impulse. And if this is a 3-wave structure and not an impulse, probabilities are higher to still take the high, corrective price action, and move up later. For very bearish structures, we want to see impulses to the downside, or at least impulsive structures to the downside. And locally, the only structure here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but your 4 didn't even hit the 382 fib time of your 2, and 4 is shorter than 2. That's uncommon. Or you need a 1, 2, 1, 2. Your second wave 1 is very big compared to your higher degree first wave 1. It's longer in price and time. And also your second wave 2 is longer in price and time. So it reduces the probabilities of a double 1, 2. And then you have a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be an expanding diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that case, expanding diagonal. Or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's too early to talk diagonals. So yeah, we're going. Yeah, just explained pretty much. On the lower time frames, probabilities are higher to take the double bottom. Did you finish all the gift memberships? Yes, if it has to do with the giveaway I did when we reached 10K, then yes, all of those have been assigned. And sometimes in chat, people gift to other chatters. It's usually random, because I think if you click on this $sign and then membership gifting, it just randomly assigns like gifts to people in chat. Yeah. Increase the alt streams. Yeah, once a week is going to be the thing at the moment. Thanks very much. Yeah, I decided to go live because of news at 8 p.m. 30 minutes ago, Central European time. And I wanted to talk about this structure. It's going to be a short stream though. But yeah, it's fun to have a little chat together about this structure here. Up or down, I'm tired, 2:30 in the morning in the Philippines. Zandra, first of all, I recommend to sleep. Right, so in my opinion, sleep is more important than trading. There's always a new opportunity tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, next week. If you have a plan or a strategy and you know what you're looking for, you know a new setup will always come. Secondly, probabilities at the moment would be higher to sooner or later take the double bottom here. So, but it's not fully clear how we count this structure in detail. It's just that bullish scenarios are very limited here. It's very corrective price action. That is a better impulse from high than either of the ones from the last two impulses. Yeah, she starts to a 5-wave moves, going with the direction. Enjoy your run. Cheers, Vegas Nick. Thanks, man. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I'm not sure what am I gonna do. It's still gonna be light for a while. Let me check. Let's have a see. How late is it gonna be dark? So today, 9:30. That is when the sun goes below the horizon. Still a little bit of time here. But yeah. So that, it's interesting. We don't always have to know exactly what the subwaves are. The moment we move down here, that was a probability switched again to moving down. I mean, in general, they've not been high to move up because it is so difficult to count an ending structure here. No continuation, moving down. Double 1, 2, not looking great. Because the second wave 1 is longer than the first, lowest probabilities. Also ending a structure here or here. Would prefer to end it here, but if this is a 1, 2, then first of all, how is this an impulse? Secondly, this hit the 886. Yeah. All very corrective. What's up, Samuel? How are you doing? Welcome. DSA is going to go down to 68 till ETF decision. Yeah, the ETF decision is coming soon as well, yeah. I don't actually know how late. I mean, tomorrow, I think, right? As well, not today. So yeah, we might just continue ranging till that news, yeah. Johnny, for example, I'm happy to count the structure as a 1, 2, 1, 2 to the downside. Also happy for it to be a W, so I posted before. Understand where they both will go, and yeah, exactly. It's all probabilities. So you have your counts, and then you just trade probabilities. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I thought in the live stream you were talking about a 1, 2, 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then upside. I thought that was what you were talking about. I wasn't sure. So, Shay. I don't see a tag. Unless you tagged some other. No, there's no scammers with my name in Discord. So I don't see a tag, Shay. What channel did you post it in? In a question on Discord. No, okay. Happy to have a quick look. Wait, I'll have a look at your messages. No, I don't see. This is you, right? Shay, yeah, Shay Hoffman. Yeah. All fun and games, but what would be the probability of me beating you in a Trackmania speedrun? Depends how good you are in Trackmania, of course. Nice one, Dell. So over the years, over 11 years of playing professionally, 10 years professionally, by the way, 1 year was amateur. Over 10 years of playing pro, during all the Beat the Pro events that I have done in my career, no one has ever managed to beat the time that I set. Yeah. I mean, probability wise, generally would be low, but of course we can have some fun, and you know, I can drive backwards or something. Factor Call, how you doing? Good to see you. Question: what is the first indication that it is a leading CVD instead of divergence on the 3 minute in general? Well, leading CVD is this is where experience comes in. You have, of course, the CVD that plays out and CVD that's leading, which clearly it doesn't play out, but context is very important. If you are at resistance, for example, and you hit resistance, let me do this differently. Imagine you have resistance, you hit resistance, right? And you have bearish CVD here, but you also have some bullish CVD with the move towards the upside. The bearish CVD has more of an importance because of the context. Doesn't mean it plays out 100%, but it's just context. So using it's leading CVD versus CVD that plays out is more of a context question. What is your count? What are the other tools that you use? Are you at support or are you at resistance? I prefer to use CVD on the right side of a recent high or low. That's more important to me. So a CVD in this section is more important than a CVD with a pivot here. So this bullish CVD is less important to me than a more local bearish CVD. We do, by the way, have bearish CVD here. So that's something to note, right? Also, I prefer to use CVD after some structures have formed. So if you do have a low and you create a bit of a move and then down and then bullish CVD, that's more interesting than a very quick spike and then price trickling down and then creating bullish CVD with this very impulsive move, right? CVDs with wicks are less trustworthy than CVDs that have stronger highs or lows. If you have a strong downtrend and you start ranging in the strong downtrend and you see bullish CVDs, higher probability it's leading, right? Compared to potentially some local bearish CVDs that are coming in. So yeah, it's more like a context question. Shout out to Dario. He helped me find the right import button for the CVD template. I acted like a real noob. Yo, yeah, Dario is a legend. Amazing guy. He made some CVD templates as well. Yeah, glad that he was able to help and very kind of him to do so. Yeah, nice one, Samuel. William, welcome. How did you feel when a lot of people got exposed for slowing down their Trackmania game? Oh yeah, cheaters do their thing. It doesn't really impact my driving. So Actually, so the cheating scandal that probably most of you hear about is the slowing down the game. The thing is, in competition, you can't use it. It's impossible to use that in a competition. And I'm a competitive driver, of course, playing tournaments, and you can't use that in a competition. People used it offline, driving on the solo tracks, right? The campaign tracks. And that is when it's not about competition, it's about the fastest time on a particular track, but it doesn't win you anything. Yeah, you can be top on the leaderboard, but no one really cares too much about the leaderboard back in the day because you didn't win anything. All the professionals, including myself, we were always training tracks that were played for tournaments, but you can't cheat on those, at least not with the slowdown cheat. So in my case, when I heard about it, I mean, it doesn't really affect me. It's more, I think it's just the players that got discovered. It ruins their reputation, right? Like that's the thing. It's bad for them, but not for me. I don't care because in competition they can't use it anyway. We only once, there was another cheater in the past, like way before most of probably you play Trackmania, where I actually discovered and then brought it to a group, and then with a group of people, we discovered that there was a player that started quicker. So the moment the timer hits 0, 3, 2, 1, beep, and then you go. His first sector, right? We're talking Trackmania on an Elliott Wave live stream. If you have questions, ask me. But of course, you have a track, and on the track there's a couple of live streams. So you have a track, or what the fuck am I talking about? You have a track, right? La 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 la, and then there's a couple of checkpoints on the track, right? And then you start and then finish. And I was playing a track for competition, and you know, I'm very good in Trackmania. I've been a pro for many years. But somehow at the first checkpoint, I and others on the server, other professionals, could not get to the time of one player. Like, it wasn't even too long of a distance. And there was about 10 hundredths difference, which is, it sounds very small, but in Trackmania it's significant. So we kept practicing. Well, like with a bunch of pros, we kept repeating that part, and we just could not beat his checkpoint one time. And that is the moment when we asked, like, yo, we need your time, or we need your replay, or whatever. And then someone else asked the guy, or he downloaded it from TMX, which is a replay platform, and then started to compare. Then what we noticed is that he had some sort of a speed cheat where after the timer hit 0 at the start, he accelerated slightly quicker, like a few kilometers per hour in the game, which then gave him an advantage, of course, in the rest of the section because he was quicker. And that is how we discovered. Yeah, that was an interesting one. Now, that was the previous scandal. There was only one person. No one made a video about it. It's only that Virtual eventually made a video about the slowing down stuff. And of course, his channel blew up, and you know, then everyone knows about it. But actually, cheating in Trackmania is very rare. Yeah, and it doesn't affect competition as well. There are ways to cheat, but you know, it's taken care of usually very quickly, except for this time. Slowing down the game, yeah, no one really knew that was possible. Cheers, Shay. Wait, Shay, I don't know who you're tagging. Wait, are you talking about Telegram, or are you talking about... No, it's not Telegram. Yo, Shay, in order to tag me, you need to do @ right? koenztrading. Oh my... Okay, I see. Wait, he must have just come in. I'm so sharp on... What's that? Yeah, what the fuck? He must have changed his name just now, motherfucker. There we go. So you see how that works. I literally after you sent me that the first time you asked me like, yo, I tagged you, I did the same and he wasn't there, and now I do it again and he's there. That's always how it goes, of course. Okay, try again. So I have no idea where because you probably tagged the wrong guy. In other words. Oh, wait. I see your message. I have an idea, might be far-fetched, but I would like to know if it's too far-fetched or break any rule. Does it? Okay, I'll probably know enough. A, B, C, regular flat in wave A. I can't see A, B, C. So I get what you mean. You're looking for a flat A, B, C, 3 wave A, 3 wave B, 5 wave C. However, the fibs on your chart here, the blue is of course the A, B, C, I guess. However, in a flat in B, your wave C is not related to the 1.382. It's a 2 1.618. One 1.618 is taken from the low of A, high of A, low of B. The second one is a Fibonacci from the high of A to the low of B. Secondly, a flat in a bigger flat, so we have a flat ABC, a flat inside B of the bigger flat is incredibly rare. By far most commonly is a zigzag family structure in B. So that would really reduce probabilities. It's not like a sharp invalidation, but it is extremely rare. Second, if you're looking for a flat, your wave B has to retrace wave A by 90%. So the 0.9 has to be hit. I'm actually not sure if it hit the 0.9. That would be interesting to see. Take a fib from the high to the... oh wait, you took it from this one here. No, it didn't hit the 0.9. It didn't hit the 886. So a flat is not yet possible. Right, you want to see at least a retracement going to the 0.9, right, which is a level we haven't hit. So it's just, it's probabilities, but for a flat we do want to hit the 0.9, which we haven't. A wave B flat in a bigger flat is extremely rare, which affects probabilities as well. So yeah, your wave 3, by the way, in the impulse up, I would move the wave 3 to the lower high and count the flat in 4, and then you have 5 up, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah. There's a cheat code: up, down, left, right, L1, L2. Yeah. Man, I gotta say, man, when I played Trackmania back in the day, those were great times. I loved it, man. Love playing Trackmania. Such a great game, such a great community. Currently, everyone is playing Deep Dip. It's so fun to see, man. I love seeing them struggle. I haven't played Trackmania in a little bit because I enjoy what I do at work. But I might actually boot up the game and do the shallow dip, which is the easy version, and then I might try the hard version. But I'm not gonna be grinding it or going for the prize pool or something, Cheers, Vector Call. Lag switch. William, damn, I think you could only hear about this from a former pro. YouTube documentaries could never. Yeah, most of the people in the scene nowadays joined after 2020, so they don't really know the history, like what happened in the 14 years before. But I started in 2006. I became pro in 2007 till 2018, and afterwards I was always part of the industry, of Trackmania, of the scene, right? So I know Virtual, I know Bren, I know Spammy, I know Simply Nick, I know Carl Jr. I've raced against them, I've met them, I've played with them, LAN parties, world championships, teammates, the whole shebang. And from a competitive point of view, cheating by slowing down the game is completely irrelevant, because in that case we would always win if someone else slows down the game. Right, so yeah, it's only something that happens on the offline leaderboards, And you do have people that really grind the leaderboards, but usually those are not the top professional players, because those are the ones that are training the competitive maps for tournaments. So they don't really spend a lot of time playing all of the campaign maps. So we don't encounter cheating in competitive play, like rarely ever. Only that one time where someone slightly increased the speed of the kickoff of the starting block, but we figured that out very quick. Because the thing is, if you're a professional in the game, you're playing on the highest level, it actually becomes easy to detect cheaters, because the moment because you're with a group of people, you're so good in the game that if something is off, it's very quickly very off. Like it starts, okay, we might need to look into this cheating. So just like with that example of the 1000s between checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2 of that guy it was with a Z, his name was something with a Z. So yeah, that you have a map and you have checkpoint 1, and if with a bunch of pros we can't get to a time of someone else, he's always 1000s faster, something's off. Like we know the lines, we can drive this section to absolute perfection, but if you're still 1000s faster, something's off. And that was the case with that guy, where then we did research and figured out he actually had a speed cheat coming off the starting block, and that was the end of his career. So yeah, you know, the good old days as a professional, you know. Yeah, I love playing all the competitions. Yeah, this was my old YouTube. 1 second. So that's me, by the way. And yeah, this is the World Championships in 2013. I got third. Still have to check that I got. Yeah, and this was my gaming channel. Just playing, like putting some fun stuff online. I was mainly active on Twitch, not so much on YouTube. You probably recognize the banner. But yeah, lots of Trackmania stuff, random bungee jump video that I did in South Africa as well. And yeah, the good old times, live streaming, some Rocket League, Call of Duty, but you'll mainly see Trackmania stuff in here, RPG. It's all old. No, good old times. Discord. Wave 2 much bigger than Wave 4, yes. And generally Wave 4 is longer than 2, of course, yeah. Might be in Wave 2 of Y. ABC for a double zigzag. Yeah, you could have a W, X, and then another ABC down in a Wave Y. But yeah, generally probability is high to take the lows. So, dope Koens lore. I love Trackmania. I love the scene. I follow it on a daily basis. I still chat to most of the guys, or I watch their live streams. So it was a great time. It was a great time. I loved going to the events, meeting everyone. Yeah. Good night, Zandra. Always take care. Thank you. Maybe morning I'll trade. Exactly, right? It's bedtime. It's good to go to bed, and then there's always another trade the next day. You know, potentially, if it's according to your plan. Did you play Supercell games too, like Clash of Clans, or just PC? I've always been more of a PC gamer. Before I got into Trackmania, I did also play PlayStation games, usually racing. But eventually, once I found Trackmania, because of my dad, I was 14 years old. He found the game. He called my name, and the first day, the first evening, he was faster than I was in the game. The second day, I was faster than him, and he never caught up. And then 8 months later, I became a professional. That's when I was scouted by Begrip Gaming, the main competitor of Dignitas in Trackmania. And yeah, that was when things took off. Jeez, target for Wave Y. Yeah, it remains a bit of an odd structure here, not gonna lie. But if we are looking for a finished X, I'm just not confident about. The only thing I am like probability wise confident about is taking out these lows at a given moment. But what structure we exactly count here is not too clear because of this here. But your 0.618 would be a minimum target at 68.9 if this is your W and this is your X. But this very much looks like a zigzag to the upside, which means you can only finish X here by having an internal WXY, flat zigzag zigzag. However, in a flat ABC, preferably we see a 5-wave move in C. But this is very much a 3-wave structure, also in the lower time frame, so I don't really like that. It's just far from ideal. Which then brings me to the scenario I explained earlier, where this over here could be your W. You could have a flat in your X, move up in a wave Y, A, B, C, move up in Y, hit the resistance that I have here, and then reject to lower prices. Not too shabby. When price action is confusing, I prefer to just stay out. So once price moved down here, that is when the probabilities increase to take the double lows again. Because, I mean, you already had touched the 886, so probabilities were high to take the lows sooner or later. 3-wave move to the upside also doesn't help for bullish probabilities of this low. But yeah, it's a complex structure. CVD divergence. We have a bullish or a bearish, a bigger bearish one. Lower high on price, higher high on the CVD, which you see here. Lower high, higher high on yellow. Locally, we had a bit of bullish CVD here. That already played out because we took the highs. So all the bullish CVDs here have already pretty much played out now. You got the bearish CVD left, target is the low, double bottom. You do have a bit of bullish CVD with this low, higher low in price, lower low in blue, but I prefer to look at CVDs on the right side of the recent high in that case. So I prefer to focus on this part of the chart. And of course, with this move down on blue, we now move below. No, we didn't, never mind. I thought it was here, but it wasn't. So yeah, there's currently no bullish CVDs, only bearish. A few years later, a professional trader. Yeah, it's funny how things go. It is, I guess, not uncommon for professional gamers, like esports players or gamers in general, to get to trading. Or poker, or because it still feels like you're playing a game. It's still like competitive. It's like Elliott Waves for me is like playing a game. I'm puzzling. I'm solving the puzzle, right? I'm trying to find the highest probabilities. A masterclass already did it. If you go to my channel, koenztrading, and you scroll to the downside. Probably first of all on the homepage you'll see the video, but if you do scroll down, it's this one here, CVD Divergence Beginner's Guide, how to use. And if you go to Discord and you go to the Good to Know channel, then here you see a one-pager, right, including the link to the video, the one-pager about CVD, everything you have to know there, and also how to trade it, the website, and my template, including information about how to actually upload it. So there you go. Still live, again live. So we went live again because of the news, live now for about an hour, but it's time for me to go though. Gotta still go for a run. Cheers, Martin. Bye. True. So yeah, from a trading perspective, this range is complex. Like I have interest at the high here. We missed out on hitting resistance. It's still a complex structure. I'm not confident this is your high. However, probabilities in general are higher to take the lows sooner or later, and then we take it from there if that plays out. But I'm not fully sure yet that this is like your high of the range that we're in. But we'll see. Do you use liquidation heat map? I don't. I don't use the liquidation heat map. Most probable scenario, bullish or bearish in the 4 hour? Bullish at the moment. And that is because probabilities are higher that this is corrective market structure, not impulsive. That's the only reason. So the moment things change, the complete probabilities on the 4 hour, the daily time frame will immediately change. So on the 4 hour time frame, the bullish scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, currently higher probabilities only because locally probabilities are higher for corrective structures down started by an ABC zigzag, right? Target area for 4 is still quite big. The bearish scenario is that this is an ABC to the upside with inside C a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, ending with a 5 on a high amount of volume, but then you want impulsive structures down. And at the moment, probabilities are higher locally for corrective structures compared to impulsive structures. It's the only difference. But because the moment we switch to impulsive structures here, we're going to be looking for bigger corrective structures down. So, but that's not the case at the moment. Because locally, yes, we do expect sooner or later the lows to be taken here, highest probability. And then we'll wait and see. But there's only 3 bearish scenarios, right? You have an impulse, diagonal, double 1, 2. Impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is your 4 compared to this 2, very short wave 4. Usually wave 4 is longer. And this wave 4 is shorter than the 3/2 time of wave 2, taken from the low of 1 to the high of 2 to the low of 3, which is very rare. So therefore probabilities are higher. This is a 3-wave structure. You can't count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We hit the 6, 1, 8 pretty much. It's just low probabilities. Double 1, 2 would be 1, 2, 1, 2, but then your second wave 1 is longer in time and price compared to your first wave 1, which isn't ideal. Lowest probabilities. Same with your wave 2, by the way. And then you have a diagonal, but it's too early to call a diagonal. So yeah, probabilities at the moment higher. It's corrective compared to impulsive. But if we do take this low and somehow get a very big impulsive structure to the downside, I'm not complaining. It's then the way it is. But yeah, generally probability is higher to take the double bottom at the moment. So yeah, sooner or later, at least. Yep. Yours, yeah. Cheers, Zero. What's up? Congrats to your channel. Peter Pep, what's up? Did you ever look to Binance chart? It's quite different. Different. I haven't. I usually don't really look at other charts too often. Oh, I have no idea which one is Binance. Bitstamp. Bybit. It also depends on what Binance chart someone uses. This is Bitcoin USD 15-minute Binance. What? This is completely different. I don't even know if this is the correct chart anymore. Like, holy moly. On Coinbase, you have this. And here you just have this. Let me compare. Bybit is the same. Where's the index chart? Oh no, Bitstamp is the same. Index chart here is the same as Coinbase. Yeah. So yeah, just focus on the Coinbase chart. Binance USD is more good. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean in general, it doesn't really change the probabilities. I usually use Coinbase. Pleasure, Ahmed. Where would you like to see support in case of this being corrective ending wave 4? I mean, soon the first area of support to the downside is pretty much all the way here, 66.1 to 67.1. You do have a support resistance area here, right, starting at 67.5, but there's not much holding this. So if you do take the double bottom, you know, a wick would be the only support liquidity grab and move back to the upside to hit resistance. If you don't do that, then it's very likely you just fall to the downside. Really. Yeah. BTC up or down, to the right. Probabilities are always highest to go to the right. But on the 50-minute, probabilities are higher to take the double bottom sooner or later. We'll take it from there. Can the highest volume inside wave 1 be at the end? And if wave 5 is extended, then yes, but most commonly in an impulse, if you have a wave 1, which is a 5-wave structure, the highest volume would be in your wave 3. It's not impossible to have it in a wave 5, but then preferably you see wave 5 being the extended wave instead of wave 3. If you do end on high volume, higher probability it's a wave C. In your support box is the 382. It's between the 382 and the 05. No. Okay, everyone, it's time for me to go for a run, do some sports, head out, and it's golden hour, by the way. You can't actually really see it, but yeah, it's golden hour. It's nice that the sun is coming in. Usually when I go live in the afternoon, the sun comes from my window, which is in front of me here, but now you see it from the other side. So, okay, but cheers, everyone. Trade safe in this whoa, 1 second. Trade safe in the range, right? It's quite a complex range. I can't say I'm confident that this is the high of your range, finishing a corrective structure. At the same time, nonetheless, probabilities are higher to sooner or later take the lows here. So that's at least something that I'm gonna keep an eye on. But yeah, that is pretty much all we can say with regards to the probabilities locally. So yeah, let's see what happens, right? So trade safe, take care, and tomorrow morning will be a normal video update, and tomorrow afternoon will be another live stream as you are used to. So that being said, take care, enjoy your evening, your morning, your afternoon, your night, wherever you live in the world. I'm gonna enjoy life outside. Bless you, wife. And I'm probably gonna run 10k, a nice run outside, and shower, dinner, bed, spend some time with the wifey, maybe watch a Dexter episode. It's a good show, Netflix. So cheers, catch you later.